everyone! If you watched the first part of this video, I hope you agree with me that there was a pattern there. The things that were made in the past is getting destroyed in the present. Now in this video, I'll discuss other patterns based on two major historical events along with some minor ones. I'll also post my theories on what Jaqen H'ghar was really doing in King's Landing and how Jon might become evil soon. Make sure to subscribe my channel and also click on the bell next to it so that you won't miss the videos. Anyways, before I begin with the other two major events, I'd like to mention a couple of smaller events which happened in that era and then it happened again in our time. The king beyond the wall and House Bolton rose in rebellion and were defeated by the king in the north. In our timeline, Mance Rayder rose in rebellion and was defeated by Jon once. The second time, Jon was helped by Stannis Baratheon. House Bolton also rebelled and betrayed the Starks, but was defeated by Jon, who later became king in the north. The Iron Islands also rose to power. Same with the Faith Militant Uprising.
In the days before the Targaryens, the Faith Militant dispensed the justice of the Seven.
Well, the Faith Militant was disarmed more than 2 centuries ago.
The Faith rose against the crown during Aenys the first time, when Aenys had his daughter wed his son. The Faith didn't like the incest and called him King Abomination. When Maegor was crowned as king, his response to the Faith's uprising was ruthless and brutal, resulting in the deaths of thousands in battle, through slaughter, and by dragon fire. He mounted Balerion and without warning unleashed the Blackguard's flames, consuming the sept and all within in dragon flame. Now in our current storyline, the Faith did rise against the crown because of the incest and Cersei's other crimes. They were also killed by Cersei in the Sept by wildfire. I wonder if Cersei will earn the name Cersei the Cruel or Cersei the Mad Queen. What do you think? Anyways, let's move on to the Targaryen history now. The third major historical event is the Dance of Dragons. If you have read the anthologies before, you already know about it, but in case you haven't, don't worry, I'll tell you a little bit about it before we compare its similarities with our current storyline. The Dance of the Dragon was the first major civil war between two rival branches of House Targaryen. It was a war of succession between Aegon II and his half-sister Rhaenyra over their father King Viserys I's throne. When Viserys' sons from his first wife Lady Aemma Arryn died during infancy, he named his daughter Rhaenyra Targaryen the heir and princess of Dragonstone in 105 AC. That is, 105 years after the conquest. But after his death in 129 AC, his second wife Queen Alicent Hightower and the small council named Aegon II King of the Seven Kingdoms. They cited the Great Council of 101 as an example. The kingdom was divided in two parts. You might have heard people talk about greens and blacks. In a tourney in 111 AC, Aegon II's mother Queen Alicent wore a green gown, whereas Princess Rhaenyra wore the traditional red and black of House Targaryen. Ever since then, these parties were known as the Greens and the Blacks respectively. The dance ended with the death of both rival monarchs and the crowning of Rhaenyra's son Aegon III. A lot of dragons also died in this war, which makes me believe that Jon and Daenerys will die in the end, and so will all her dragons. I've already said in my Jon and Dany predictions that I think both of them will die, and if, somehow, the throne is not destroyed in the end, they will leave Daenerys' child as heir, along with her regent to rule until he comes of age. That's just my theory. What do you think will happen to them in the end? So if we narrow it all down, the conflict of the Dance of Dragons come down to one thing: female heir versus male heir. That's where the Great Council of 101 comes in. When King Jaehaerys I's son and heir Prince Aemon died in 92 AC, he chose Aemon's younger brother Prince Baelon, passing over Aemon's daughter Princess Rhaenys. However, Prince Baelon also died in 101 AC. Instead of the king deciding on his own, a great council was called to settle the matter of succession. Lords came from all over the realm. They had to choose between Prince Viserys Targaryen, who was the eldest son of Prince Baelon, and Laenor Velaryon, the son of Princess Rhaenys. Both had different reasons and qualities, but in the end, what mattered most for the lords in the realm was that the male line will take precedence over the female line. The Greens gave the same reasoning, claiming Aegon II was the rightful king. This prejudice has still remained in this era. Do you remember this scene in season 1?
What if I only have girls?
If you only had girls, I suppose the throne would pass to Prince Joffrey's little brother.
Septa Mordane said that if Sansa only had girls, the throne will pass on to Tommen, claiming a female cannot sit on the Iron Throne. You'll probably think that it was in the past, that things are different now. But are they? Think again. In season 6, Ned Stark's true-born daughter Sansa was passed over for his bastard son. It's true that Jon became king in the north because of Lyanna, but the other lords choose to follow him too. By the way, I really think Lyanna has a crush on Jon. What do you think? Anyways, that's why I think when Jon's identity is revealed in the show, or when Aegon reveals himself to the realm in the books, most people in the realm will believe that the male heir, aka Jon or Aegon, has the stronger claim over Dany. Anyways, this war was fought about 170 years before the current events of our storyline. During this war, brother fought brother, Targaryen fought Targaryen, and the dragons fought dragons. And I think it will happen again. Brother will fight brother, or rather sister. It could be the Lannisters like Jaime or Tyrion fighting Cersei, or the Starks like Sansa fighting with Arya or Jon, etc. As for the other ones, since I don't want to spoil anything, I'll post the link to my Jon and Dany predictions. If you're not worried about spoilers, make sure to check them out. You'll understand why it could be similar to the Dance of Dragons. We can also see another similarity with the Dance of Dragons and the current storyline. During the brief time Queen Rhaenyra sat on the Iron Throne, she grew increasingly paranoid the more betrayals she faced. The spikes on the gates started to fill with more and more heads each day. The taxes were increased. The small folks of King's Landing slowly started to hate their queen, which eventually led to riots in the city. During the riots, the crazed mob of small folks, manned by a priest's rantings, stormed the dragon pit and killed 5 dragons. After the storming of the dragon pit, Rhaenyra had to flee King's Landing, but when she reached Dragonstone, she was killed by her half-brother. Now back to our current storyline. We also have a queen who I believe will be widely disliked, at least in the books, because the set photos of season 7 really confused me. I mean, why would the small folk cheer for the bad guys? Anyways, I'll post the link to that video in case you wanna check it out. So, I believe that eventually the small folks will hate Cersei enough to have riots in the city. I also think either she will be killed in King's Landing or she will flee King's Landing and then will be killed by her brother. The fourth major historical event is the Blackfyre Rebellion. Blackfyre Rebellion was the second civil war in the history of Targaryen reign. Aegon the Unworthy legitimized all his bastards on his deathbed. His bastard Daemon Waters named himself Daemon Blackfyre after Aegon the Conqueror's sword Blackfyre, which was given to him by his father at the age of 12. Daemon Blackfyre fought Daeron II, the true-born son of Aegon IV, for the throne. Ever since then, there had been 4 more Blackfyre rebellions. The three-eyed raven in our current storyline was one of those legitimized bastards. He helped subdue the first 3 rebellions before being sent to the wall. He became the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch for a short time before disappearing beyond the wall on a raging. Even then, there was a famous saying about him. How many eyes does Lord Bloodraven have? 1,000 eyes and one. It was like a prediction. In our current storyline, we found out that he had literally got 1,000 eyes through the weirwoods, and he had only one eye left, so 1,000 eyes and one. He lost the other eye in a fight with his half-brother Bitter Steel. Now let's come back to the similarities. In the Dance of the Dragons, the conflict was between a male heir versus a female heir. It's possible we will get to see the same conflict in our current storyline with Jon and Daenerys or with Jon and Sansa. In the Blackfyre Rebellion, the conflict was between a true-born heir versus the bastard or the half-brother.
Who should the North rally behind? True-born daughter of Ned and Catelyn Stark, or a motherless bastard born in the South?
Again, there are possibilities we might get to see a Jon versus Sansa or Jon versus Dany. If we talk about the North, we saw how Littlefinger played on Sansa's insecurities by saying that she was the true-born daughter of Ned Stark while Jon was just a bastard. If we talk about the Seven Kingdoms, in case Jon's true identity is revealed, and assuming that R plus L equals J is true, and I believe it is, if the proof of Rhaegar and Lyanna's marriage appears, the matter will be pretty simple. But if there is no proof of Rhaegar and Lyanna's marriage, then Jon will still be a bastard. We might get to see both kind of conflicts soon. I know what you are thinking right now. You think that Jon will give up his claim and say that Daenerys should sit on the Iron Throne because he doesn't like to rule. But if that was the case, then why didn't he do the same thing with Sansa for the North? Even if he doesn't like it, I believe he will think it's his duty. If it comes to that, what do you think he will do? I'll discuss more on this in my How Jon Might Become Evil video, so stay tuned for that. So, what do you think of these theories? Don't forget to tell us in the comments. If you like this video, please click on the like button below, share the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you in my next video.